Good Thursday morning, everyone. I know I'm coming on at an odd and early hour here, but Constance and I have something that we need to do at 10 a.m. This morning. And so instead of being late, I'm going to be a little early today, and it's going to be rather short. Today I'm going to read a little excerpt from a section, the beginning section of Understanding Aleister Crowley's O.T.O. I've just finished up in the text talking about the court cards, the knight, the queen, the prince, and the princess. And I sort of attempt to explain why what in older decks is called the king in the Thoth Tarot is called the knight. And the bottom line sort of is that the knight is the sexier, the more alpha of the Yod-He, Vav-He, alpha male. But I sort of bring up the Kabbalistic fairy tale that projects these archetypal family upon the tree of life, where number 2 on the tree of life, or Hokmah, is seen as the primal father, and number 3 is seen as the primal mother, or the king and the queen. And they make love, and in their ecstasy, all sense of separateness disappears, and they realize that the consciousness that they are the one. It's kind of easy to think about. And as we think about the descent of the consciousness and the descent of the influence, in the afterglow of that mating, the king falls asleep, the queen in number 2, the queen goes back to Binah, but she's pregnant, and she delivers twins. And the male twin pops out below the abyss as number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 on the tree of life, the Vav, or the prince. And the princess slips even further down the tree of life as number 10, bumps her head, and has complete amnesia. Completely forgets the whole family affair. Well, that's a situation that ordinary consciousness finds itself in. And in the fairy tale, the prince, who would really like to be a king, but he can't because he doesn't have a queen. So the prince, the Vav, as your holy guardian angel, tries to get you awake, tries to kiss you awake, the princess, and that's the holy guardian angel. That's the kiss of the holy guardian angel. That's the bliss of the holy guardian angel. And so this return trip up the tree of life is the sleeping princess gets awakened by the kiss of the holy guardian angel, or raises her consciousness to that level. They become married, making her the queen, number 3, which makes him the king, number 2. That's how it's an alternating current, and then back up. Now, this difference between in older tarot decks, the king, who in the court cards is just sitting on his butt, and the queen who's sitting on her butt, and then we got the knight, and then the page. Okay, you could look at it this way. Crowley thought that the knight, the character of the knight, like in the medieval fairy tales, who's Guinevere and Lancelot, okay, and not Guinevere and Arthur, who sweeps the queen off of her feet. That's the activeness. So we could almost look at the character of the knight is the active male alpha-ness that makes love to the queen. But the character, like in the old tarot trumps, the king who sits on his ass is the king in his aspect as the king that after the ecstasy falls asleep. I told that terribly. I'm terribly sorry. Anyway, I'm going to read you just a very short thing called Sex, Magic, Tarot, and the Holy Guardian Angel, which is my final section of part of the book 1 here. And you'll notice Constance has gotten my office starting to look like the old office. Hope you're enjoying the view this morning. Sex, Magic, Tarot, and the Holy Guardian Angel. All magic is sexual. Indeed, all life is sexual. It's either overt or implied, invoked or directed, stored or released. The Mass of the Roman Catholic Church is every bit as much a pantomime of the sex act as the great rite of the witches. The real question is, what is sex symbolic of? What do you think when you hear the word sex magic? Maybe you picture wild orgies where people dress up in bizarre costumes and intone spooky chants while they perform unspeakable sexual acts on each other and an assortment of other creatures and inanimate objects. Perhaps you imagine people being abused by a diabolical magician and his minions in order to evoke evil spirits. You might even think you can join a sex magic cult where, even if you do not possess even a minimum level of intelligence, attractiveness, social skills, or charm, you will be rewarded with eager and willing sexual partners. Dream on. For 47 years, I've been an active member and an officer of one of Crowley's own magical societies, O.T.O Templi Orientis. The O.T.O is the largest Thelemic order in the world. It's a fraternity and a religious organization that provides degree initiations and engages in various social and publishing endeavors. Magically, however, the order exists primarily to protect and perpetuate a particular magical secret of great potential efficacy. The degree structure of the order is designed to prepare its most serious and tenacious initiates and provide them with the tools to discover this secret and use it safely and effectively. This supreme secret is a particular technique of sexual magic. It is held sacred and secret by the members of the Sovereign Sanctuary of the Gnosis, the Order's 9th degree, whose duty it is to use the secret for the benefit of his or her spiritual evolution. I know it will be a painful revelation to some of you to learn that none of the fanciful scenes of erotic excess I've described above even remotely resemble anything that takes place at O.T.O degree initiations or any other official ceremony or activity, public or private. Sorry. The order does not read its members' diaries, monitor their magical or sexual lives, or violate their bodies. In other words, you may learn the principles of sex magic in the O.T.O, but you'll have to practice on your own. Now, you may be asking, if the world's largest sex magic organization isn't an orgy cult, then what is sex magic about? My good friend, the late Donald Michael Craig, gave one very excellent definition. Quote, a variety of techniques which harness the energies raised during sexual activity and direct them to fulfill the desires of the people practicing sex magic. The key word in Don's definition is desires. What the magician desires is technically called the object of the operation. Desire spells the difference between an ill-conceived attempt to bewitch your neighbor's cow and the attainment of perfect spiritual liberation. I bring all this up in this chapter because nothing should be more ardently desired than the holy guardian angel. It should not surprise anyone that the experience of the knowledge and conversation of one's holy guardian angel is often described as being exquisitely sexual. Most everyone knows the ecstasy of orgasm. In that golden moment, our self is annihilated, just like the consciousness of the king and queen in our fairy tale. In that timeless moment, there is no difference between you and everything else in the universe, including potentially the object of the operation, your heart's desire. Can't you see how, by working like a disciplined yogi with the forces and energies that lead up to that timeless moment, a person can literally become one with the object of their desire, and then gestate and eventually give birth to it? This is technical magic of the highest order and should not be identified in any way with the prurient shenanigans of sex cults or clubs. Human sexuality is only one very narrow expression of this sexual alchemy. The formula is truly universal, and its mechanics are at work at all levels of existence. It's the magic that turns energy into matter, sunlight into gold, and you and me into God. I know that was a little short, but it might be worth pondering, perhaps roll it around and taste it and digest it. Anyway, we have to get going. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.